For those of you who missed this week's episode of the Shadow Spark Chronicles, here's what's happened. The Brindlestar approaches Briarfork, and Bishop has them land right outside of town. He provides the crew with some drinking money and asks Justinian to give him some time with his family. Justinian walks the small town and heads back to the ship for the night. Thinking of Bishop with his family, he sits down and writes a letter to his parents. Bishop plays with Luna for the day, and when she goes to bed for the night, he informs Elsa of his condition and that he is working on fixing the damage. He is proud of his family and glad that Briarfork is prosperous. The next morning, he bids them farewell and races Luna to the Brindlestar. After saying his goodbyes, he boards and they head back to Candor's Keep. Arriving at Candor's Keep, Bishop heads back to the house while Justinian heads to Restus to pay his contractual dues. He discloses to the group the obligation he and Marslin are under. Marslin takes this opportunity to voice a concern about his parents. The rest of the party is floored by Marslin's perceived apathy. He clarifies that he has no knowledge to work with on their situation and thus cannot dedicate mental resources towards his parents' predicament. After some prodding, he says that they think they are in a swamp and are being held captive, which leads to one conclusion: Colton Frost. The party decides to set sail for the Arboreum. Several days pass without apparent issue. The Samalan tree comes into view. The party watches this, and during their approach, they notice that Anax's face is cracked and his eyes are glowing. Through a thorough medical and arcane evaluation by Marslin and Bishop, they determine that he has a rare leyline rot disease. Gwynton, in heroic fashion, cleanses Anax through divine intervention. The party is accosted by flying guards from the Arboreum. They land and are allowed entry into the Arboreum. They request an audience with King Regent Colton Frost. The next day, they are granted such an audience. The party is escorted into the Samalan tree, where they meet with Colton Frost. Anaximander introduces the delegation. Colton asks about the rest of the party. This is where Justinian steps in with a humble apology over his actions the last time he was with Colton. Colton Frost, in true Colton Frost fashion, imperiously reveals to the party that he is not king. The true king is none other than Ozeldolf Frost, who walks into the throne room. Please join us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we continue with the ongoing adventures of the Shadow Spark Chronicles. And as always, we'll see you in the dungeon.